In your life, you will go through millions of different experiences that will reshape you no matter how little or how much, but they will dictate the person that you become and characteristics and traits that you adapt as you grow up. And most of the time, throughout your life, you can hide behind things, you can sit in your comfort zone and hide from ever trying or attempting to deal with anything remotely similar to what you experienced in the past in order to avoid experiencing that trauma from before again, no matter how insignificant or significant it was, until you get into a relationship. Because once you're in a relationship, if you hide your insecurities and stop yourself from being vulnerable to your partner, you're not 100% invested in your partner and that relationship, which is what 99% of people are doing. Or you invest yourself 100%, you show your vulnerability, but your insecurities start to appear and you begin to project yourself onto the person you're in a relationship with, which is fine. Part of being in a relationship is accepting the fact that you have to contribute in helping the person heal from any past experiences. This is one of the many ways two people who are genuinely in love demonstrate their care for each other. But the work has to come from both sides. You cannot offload everything you've been through, continuously project your insecurities and personal complexes that you've accumulated from the shit in your past, and just expect them to deal with it without a stated end to it all inside. Now, you guys might have seen my video where I explain why people who are depressed cannot be in a relationship. And in summary, what I said in the video is, until you are 100% satisfied with yourself as an individual and with what's going on between your ears, you cannot invest energy into someone else, because what's going on between your own two ears hasn't even been sorted out yet, let alone be able to fulfill your duty as a member of a two-party partnership which is taking on some of their burdens. However, insecurities are totally different from depression. Depression can exaggerate and expose insecurities, but insecurities are something that can be tackled instantly. And that's what I want to talk about in today's video. With depression, it's a massive topic. I cannot possibly summarize every potential reason or cause behind your struggling mental health, but just as an example, if you're going through tough times, right? For example, you recently lost a loved one, or perhaps you just got sacked and you're struggling financially and it's causing you anxiety, or you just got general dissatisfaction with where you currently are with your life. All of these things require time as your healer. You need a certain amount of time to pass by, certain opportunities to arise, and you need this period, let's say, to officially go into the past in order to regain control of your life. In which time, I think extremely unwise to try and get into a relationship, simply because with your lack of stability, with everything going on your end, there's literally no possibility in hell that adding someone into your life can benefit you, except using them as an escape to forget about your troubles, which is the most toxic form of a relationship and the exact reason I encourage people to avoid relationships if they're depressed. Because usually this low-level state of mind and mental health prevents us from seeing the real reason our subconscious is getting with this person. 99% of the time it's not love, it's in fact an escape. But insecurities, however, can be tackled head on. Insecurities are nothing more than a fear developed inside of us as a consequence of a past experience. Now, I'm a risk taker, and the reason I'm saying that is because I think you should be too. This is something that we as humans should never part from as a characteristic. The only reason we don't act when fear is the only thing standing between us and a task that we know needs completing is because we think it's too risky. Our experiences have taught us that we tried this last time, it caused us lots of pain, discomfort and hurt, and we simply don't want to take the risk of putting ourselves in that bucket of fear, that zone of discomfort again, because we don't want to re-experience past occurrences. Now, it's very simple. You're still alive. Whatever you went through didn't kill you. It might have almost killed you, but the bottom line, it didn't kill you. You're watching this video, you're still here. And the chances are it probably made you stronger, and it definitely made you wiser. The only thing that can happen if you now don't act on things anymore out of fear of repeating the past is A, you will not experience everything in life you could have experienced had you jumped over that barrier of fear, or B, you'll push people away. And I'll elaborate on that in a second. Now, it's very simple, and like most other topics on my channel, I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. I'm going to tell you exactly what you need to do to start doing this if you want to overcome it. The only way to cross the line and truly leave experiences and traumas in the past is by returning to the old ways you lived by before the experiences that caused you to have the insecurities in the first place. Insecurities manifest themselves in millions of different ways. They can be physical insecurities. You might think you have a big nose because someone told you that once. They can be social insecurities. Maybe someone ridiculed you in a friend group before, and so now you avoid friend groups and social situations like that. They can be psychological insecurities that inhibit you from being open and vulnerable to people. You might have got cheated on in the past. You might have had your heart broken. You might have been in a physically abusive relationship. It's an incredibly evil world out there, and I'm a firm believer in this. But you have to calmly and calculatively use your experiences as lessons and think about what they taught you and use those lessons to at least try and do something different so that those certain things don't happen again. But what you cannot do is put a brick wall up, turn a blind eye to everything and say, no, I don't want it. Women fucked me up last time. I'll just be with my gym bros over there and have a hoe phase. Men are trash. My ex cheated on me. Oh, you're all the same. Not only does that kind of attitude make you incredibly weak, but it's also inhibiting you from living your best life. It doesn't mean if you get cheated on, go out and get with another girl and hope that she won't do the same. But you can't hate women for the rest of your life because of one bitch that cheated on you. In fact, if you're smart, you should take responsibility of what happened. That's key in everything. No matter how much it hurt, and no matter how little actually on the surface it was your fault, if you take responsibility of everything that happens in your life, there's always a lesson to be learned. Always something to take. I mean, the amount of guys and girls I see getting cheated on time and time again, and then when he gets cheated on for the third time in a row, he'll be like, oh, I'm so done with women. All women are trash. I got cheated on 3 times. I was so nice to all of them. I treated her right. Nice guys always finish last. It's like, shut up, bro. Well, sorry. Actually, I'm not sorry. You're a fucking idiot. The third girl who cheated on you is practically the same as the first one who cheated on you. All the girls you go for are trash. It's like if you keep looking for a wardrobe in IKEA in the rubbish bin section, you'll keep finding rubbish bins. You can't complain. That's why I can't stand this mentality of, oh, I'm never opening up again. No one's ever going to see the real me ever again. It makes you a loser. You lose. You lost. Life threw something at you. Somebody mistreated you and they changed you. You're now openly accepting that you'll never be the same because of what that person did to you. And by extension, what you're saying is you'll indirectly carry the essence and memory of this person who did you bad for the rest of your life. So you're choosing to remember them forever. You let this person change the course your life will take forever. You let them win. That's the easy choice to make, and it's absolutely not the way to go about things. A true brave person can experience things, go through hardships, get destroyed, get thrown to the absolute ground, and still get back up and go out of their way to return to old ways and refuse to let their experiences and past reshape the person they know they want to be. And it's also a part of the reason why that analogy they love doing, oh, take this bottle, squash it, and now say sorry to it. Oh, see, it's never going to be the same anymore. So, quickly, now for those of you who are going to come at me and say, oh, it's a good parenting technique to teach children the consequences of actions and words and not to hurt people, it's like, I understand that. But we're not fucking plastic bottles. It's not smart teaching children, or anyone for that matter, that there's anything in this world that's incurable and irreversible. That's incredibly damaging. So the lesson to take from this is you must learn from your experiences, accept them for what they are, understand that no matter how hard they were and how much they were not even 1% your fault, just for the sake of growth, tell yourself it was your fault, and that next time you'll do it different. You'll be aware of certain things and you will do it better. But if you're in a relationship and you're controlling over your partner, or you cry and it keeps you up at night because they have to say hi to someone of the opposite gender once a week, and you try and be nice and cute about it and say, oh baby, I have trust issues, you have to understand it's because of my PTSD, it's because of my past relationships. Yes, to a certain extent, it is your partner's duty to understand this and help you overcome it. But you cannot project it onto them 24/7, allow it to destroy their mental health, and expect them to do all the work in overcoming your problems and treating it as our issues in our relationship. And interestingly, this is actually a big reason behind a lot of people leaving relationships like this because of that, and getting into new relationships that are what I would say 2-3, the other extreme. These are also insecurities. You've again allowed past relationships to reshape you. You no longer know exactly what you want deep down. You just look for whatever is the opposite of what you've been through, just to ensure that the past doesn't happen again, just because you're too scared of the idea of potentially re-experiencing the past. Again, you've allowed someone in the past to change. You can't live like this. You have to be self-aware enough to recognize when you're acting on something purely out of fear, just to keep yourself in your comfort zone. You have to battle it by acting on how you know you should be acting and what you know you should be doing to actively put yourself outside your comfort zone where it feels risky to rid yourself of the traumas. And yes, it is as simple as that. Don't confuse easy with simple. It's not easy, but it is simple.